Welcome to Tomorrow Unveiled. Today, we're diving deep into what feels like a really pivotal moment in longevity science. We seem to be moving beyond just the theoretical, possibility and getting into actual experimental reality. For years, the whole conversation was just about adding years to life. But now the focus is squarely on what our dedicated research team calls the health span revolution, adding healthy, functional, vital life to those years. That's the key, right? So, our mission today is basically to unpack the most important nuggets of knowledge from just the past week in longevity and health span science. We'll explore some, frankly, surprising new interventions, look at the cutting edge tech tools speeding up discovery, and think carefully about the ethics and practical stuff shaping this future. And just so you know, everything we're sharing today is cross corroborated across multiple trusted sources, so you're getting a strong kind of consensus view.
And what's really remarkable is how interconnected these findings are.
Mhm.
They aren't like separate data points. They're pieces of a bigger puzzle showing a field that's just incredibly dynamic right now. We're seeing whole new avenues opening up.
Okay, fantastic. Let's jump right into that new frontier of interventions then, because as you said, one of the most surprising developments comes from a really unexpected place, psilocybin. How is that fitting into longevity?
Well, it's pretty astonishing, actually. Recent studies, the research team highlighted one from Emory University. It showed psilocin, that's the active bit from psilocybin, extended the replicative lifespan of human skin and lung cells, fibroblasts,
Yeah,
by over 50%.
50% just from that.
Yeah. And even more striking, in aged mice, just monthly doses led to a 30% increase in survival. Plus, they showed these really noticeable improvements in functional health, things like fuller coats, less white hair, much better physical mobility.
That's fascinating. So it really is about aging better, not just longer. What's actually happening? What's the mechanism?
Exactly. The research points towards psilocybin reducing oxidative stress. It seems to enhance the cell's own DNA repair responses, and it helps preserve telomere length, those caps on our chromosomes. What's really interesting is the hint of systemic effects. It looks like it might be working on multiple hallmarks of aging all at once, which, really challenges the conventional way we think about drug development. Though, important to stress, this is still preclinical, early days.
Right, early days, but incredibly promising. Okay, so beyond surprising compounds, what about refining metabolic interventions? We hear a lot about rapamycin, metformin. Are we seeing progress when therapies like these are combined?
Absolutely. That's a key area. So a big meta-analysis our team looked at, covering 167 studies. It confirmed that rapamycin, which is an mTOR inhibitor, basically dials down a key aging pathway. It produced lifespan extension similar to dietary restriction. And that was across 8 different vertebrate species.
Okay, so rapamycin holds up. What about metformin?
Interestingly, metformin, the common diabetes drug, in this huge analysis, it didn't show a clear or consistent longevity benefit.
Huh, that's a really important distinction. But given how complex aging is, is the future really about single magic bullets, or is it more about combining approaches?
You really hit on a critical point there. The complexity demands more, and new research provides really compelling proof of concept for hitting multiple aging pathways at the same time. Scientists combined rapamycin with another drug, trametinib. Now, each one extended lifespan a bit on its own in mice, but the combination, it produced this powerful additive effect. Lifespan went up 29% in female mice, 27% in males.
Wow, additive. So 1 + 1 = more than 2, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. It strongly suggests that future longevity treatments might involve these personalized cocktails of drugs, moving away from single targets towards a much more robust, multi-pronged strategy for tackling aging.
Makes sense. And speaking of complex processes, what about that chronic low-grade inflammation that creeps up as we age? Inflammaging. That feels like a huge barrier.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we're seeing real traction there, too. There was a major strategic investment by Alphabet's Calico Life Sciences in a new monoclonal antibody called 9MW3811. This antibody specifically targets something called interleukin-11, or IL-11.
IL-11, okay.
Yeah, it's a cytokine, a signaling molecule. And it's increasingly looking like a central driver of inflammaging and also fibrosis that's scarring in lots of organs. It's linked to things like heart disease, lung fibrosis. So this big investment signals real confidence that targeting IL-11 could be a way to systemically counter some of the most destructive parts of aging. Moving from the lab towards human trials, it's about tackling the root cause.
Okay, so we've got novel compounds, combination therapies targeting inflammation, but it's clear we're talking about more than just pills or injections. Breakthroughs are happening right down at the cellular level, sometimes even learning from our own biology, right? What's standing out there?
Well, definitely. Some really remarkable discoveries highlighted by the research team. like understanding how human eggs manage to preserve their waste disposal systems. They keep them running about 50% better for up to 50 years.
50 years? How?
Well, that's the key question. The insight is that our own biology holds these incredible secrets. If we can figure out how the eggs do it, we get a natural blueprint for interventions, maybe teach our other cells how to maintain that youthful function instead of just fighting decay. We also saw really successful primate trials using mesenchymal progenitor cells enhanced with a gene called FOXO3.
FOXO3, right, the longevity gene.
Exactly. And these trials showed improved cognitive function, better bone integrity, even reproductive function improvements. It demonstrates systematic rejuvenation across 10 major physiological systems. Pretty amazing.
And what about actually, turning back the clock on cells, that partial epigenetic reprogramming stuff? It sounds like pure sci-fi.
It does sound like it, but it's getting very real. Think of it like gently rebooting a cell's operating system, nudging its gene expression back towards a younger state, but without, waking its memory, its identity. And a biotech company is now on track to start the first human trial of this therapy later this year.
A human trial already? For what?
Specifically for vision loss due to glaucoma. The preclinical results in mice were really promising restored youthful gene patterns, improved vision. And another fascinating angle, kind of bio-inspiration, using extracellular vesicles, tiny packages released by cells derived from deer antler stem cells.
Deer antlers. Seriously?
Seriously. Those things regenerate incredibly fast, right?
Yeah.
Their stem cells are potent. And these vesicles showed significant rejuvenating effects in aged mice and macaques. Better bone density, physical performance, cognitive function, even a reduction in epigenetic age. It might be a safer way to deliver regenerative signals without transplanting whole cells.
Okay, so pills, injections, advanced cell therapies. For our listeners, you might be thinking that's the whole story, but you mentioned a third way, something completely different.
Yes, what's really innovative here is a novel, non-pharmacological approach.
Yeah.
Our research team flagged this one, a specialized ultrasonic hot tub.
An ultrasonic hot tub. Tell me more.
Okay, it sounds a bit strange, but the device delivers low-frequency ultrasound waves. And the idea is these waves can selectively destroy senescent cells, the zombie cells that build up with age and fuel inflammation.
Selectively destroy them with ultrasound. And this isn't just a theory, is it? You said it's moving forward.
That's right. This project is actually a semi-finalist in the big $101 million XBI's health span competition. It has funding and a mandate to launch human clinical trials within the next year.
Wow.
It's significant because it represents, well, a real diversification of anti-aging strategies. It could offer a totally different safety profile, maybe a different accessibility model compared to drugs, targeted treatment, maybe in a clinical setting, possibly fewer systemic side effects.
The sheer pace of all this discovery is just incredible. And a lot of that acceleration seems to be thanks to technology like AI. It's not just for chatbots anymore, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. AI is becoming indispensable. It's sifting through these enormous mountains of biological data to find potential longevity drugs. One really cool example the research team highlighted is the Fauna Brain AI platform. It uses comparative genomics looking at the genes of 292 different mammal species.
Comparing us to other animals.
Exactly. It looks for animals with natural resilience, like, say, hibernators, animals that live surprisingly long, finds their unique protective genetic tricks and pathways, and then maps those back to human biology to pinpoint new drug targets. It's basically harnessing nature's own billion-year-long experiments to guide drug discovery, stuff we just couldn't find manually.
That's a really clever approach, leveraging evolution. But it brings up a crucial question. How do we even measure biological aging accurately? How do you know if any of this stuff is working for you personally?
Yeah, that's where diagnostics are having their own revolution. New findings, cross-corroborated by our team, they reveal these groundbreaking aging clocks for 11 different major organs.
Organ-specific aging clocks, like my heart age versus my liver age.
Precisely. Brain, heart, liver, kidneys. The works. Using machine learning on plasma proteomics, basically analyzing all the proteins in your blood. These clocks show our organs do not age in sync. And get this, nearly 20% of the healthy population shows accelerated aging in just one organ.
20%, wow.
And that single accelerated organ age is a powerful predictor of future disease and mortality risk. For instance, people with an accelerated heart age, they were found to have a 250% increased risk of developing heart failure later on.
That is transformative. It moves us way beyond just a single vague biological age. You can know exactly where you might need to focus interventions, super personalized medicine.
Totally. And these tools also help us monitor functional health in ways we couldn't before. There was a pretty sobering study the research team looked at. It used AI-enhanced neuroimaging and detected an average of 5.5 months of extra brain aging during the COVID-19 pandemic.
5.5 months, just from the pandemic period. Was it the virus itself?
Not just the virus. Significantly, it was linked to psychosocial stress, the stress of the situation.
Wow. So our environment, our stress levels can literally age our brains, and we can now measure that. That's a stark reminder of how connected everything is.
It absolutely is. And it shows the power of these tools to pick up even subtle shifts that affect health span. Plus, AI is now being used with wearables, smartwatches, fitness trackers, analyzing things like your gait, how you move, your voice patterns, your sleep, providing real-time insights into your functional age. It creates this complete cycle. Discover potential therapies, diagnose specific aging issues, monitor functional health continuously. It's a pipeline for truly personalized longevity medicine.
Okay, this is all incredibly exciting, but with such powerful advances, we absolutely have to talk about the crucial considerations. Safety has to be number one, right? Especially when we're tinkering with fundamental biology.
You're absolutely right to stress safety. The research compiled by our team really emphasizes this constant balancing act between the potential rewards and the risks. Take psilocybin, for example.
Yeah.
The long-term safety of taking it chronically. We just don't know.
Yeah.
Especially potential psychiatric risks. With rapamycin, the known issue is its immunosuppressive effects at higher doses. That could be a real problem for older adults whose immune systems might already be weaker.
Right.
Even with something like the ultrasound hot tub, which seems less invasive, you still need extensive human trials to check for any unintended off-target effects. And for cellular reprogramming, developers are acutely aware of the risk of uncontrolled cell growth cancer, essentially. They're working hard on building in safety switches. The bottom line is always, interventions must improve quality of life and not introduce new serious problems.
Absolutely critical. And beyond safety, there's the huge question of access, equity. If these cutting-edge therapies work, who gets them? Is healthy longevity going to become a luxury item only for the rich?
This is a deeply important question and frankly a worrying one. High-cost therapies, those bespoke drug cocktails we talked about, advanced antibodies, sophisticated diagnostic tests, like those organ clocks, they're almost certainly going to be prohibitively expensive, at least initially. And that carries a huge risk of worsening existing health disparities, creating a longevity gap.
A longevity gap.
Yeah, between the wealthy and everyone else. It really reframes health span, not just as a personal goal, but as a major public health issue. It's a significant ethical concern we need to address head on.
So what can actually be done? How do we try and ensure broader access and avoid that gap widening? Are there potentially more equitable models on the horizon?
Well, exploring more accessible alternatives is absolutely crucial. That ultrasound therapy, for example. If it proves effective and safe, its different cost structure and delivery model could represent a more equitable approach. We'll have to see. There's also, I think, a real ethical need to invest more in understudied areas, like female-specific aging research, for example. We need to make sure that any gains in health span are distributed fairly across all populations, not just benefiting a select few. These are conversations that need to happen now proactively.
Definitely. Okay, so bringing it all together, what does this all mean for the future of healthy longevity? For you, the listener, what's the big picture takeaway?
Well, if we connect all these dots from the past week's discoveries, it becomes really clear that searching for a single, universal anti-aging pill, that's kind of an outdated idea now, the future really lies in a highly personalized, data-driven ecosystem. It's going to integrate AI discovering new pathways, these super granular diagnostics identifying your specific aging weak spots. And then a diverse toolkit of interventions, combination drugs, antibodies, maybe device therapies, targeted lifestyle changes. The era of precision geroscience, precision aging science has truly arrived.
It really is an exciting time. Maybe a little daunting too, but mostly exciting. The field is moving so fast towards practical applications, things that could genuinely enhance quality of life as we live longer. We've honestly never been closer to building a world where growing older doesn't automatically mean growing frail. And if you're finding this conversation insightful, please do take a moment to like this video, subscribe here to Tomorrow Unveiled, and definitely turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the future. Or if you're listening on a podcast service, maybe Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could leave us a rating and a review for Tomorrow Unveiled. It honestly really helps us reach new listeners, and we genuinely love hearing your thoughts. So whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcast app, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think about this immortality update and the amazing, complex future of healthy longevity.